Once an untouchable titan of hip-hop, fashion, and culture, Sean Diddy Combs now stands on the edge of a precipice, his empire of influence crumbling as his last-ditch efforts to escape a looming prison sentence slip through his fingers like sand. President Donald Trump, in a candid August 1st, 2025, Newsmax interview, delivered a crushing blow, publicly shutting down any hope of a presidential pardon for Diddy, a man he once called a friend, but whose venomous words during past political campaigns left a scar too deep to forgive. Diddy's desperate $50 million bail package, offering his lavish Miami mansion as collateral, surrendering his passport, and agreeing to house arrest under private security, was swiftly rejected by a federal judge who branded him a flight risk and a menace to society, cementing his stay in Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center until his October 2025, sentencing. With prosecutors now pushing for a sentence far harsher than the initially projected 4 to 5 years, and new lawsuits piling on allegations of violence and abuse, the man who once ruled the music world with swagger and charisma now faces the stark reality of spending decades, if not his entire life, behind bars. The saga of Diddy's downfall is a tangled web of betrayal, broken alliances, and a past that refuses to stay buried. Rumors of a pardon had swirled for years, fueled by whispers that Diddy's legal team had been in secret talks with Trump's administration, a claim they initially denied until White House insiders confirmed otherwise, forcing Diddy's lawyer, Mark Agnifilo, to admit Diddy had urged him to plead for clemency, saying, "Go tell Trump I need a pardon. I deserve one." But Trump, known for his long memory and unforgiving streak, wasn't swayed. In the Newsmax sit-down, he reflected on their once cordial relationship, recalling Diddy as a nice guy from their pre-politics days. But the warmth faded as Trump recounted the sting of Diddy's hostility when he ran for office. He said some not-so-nice things, terrible statements, Trump mused, admitting that those words made a pardon more difficult despite his claim that he'd consider any case of mistreatment fairly. The nail in the coffin came from an unexpected corner. 50 Cent, Diddy's longtime rival, who took to social media with a vengeance, resurfacing old clips of Diddy's anti-Trump tirades to ensure the former president never forgot the disrespect. In 2016, Diddy had launched a fiery campaign against Trump, starting his own political party and warning of a race war if Trump won, even declaring, "White men like Trump need to be banished." 50 Cent's relentless posts, including one taunting, "See, Trump don't like S*** like this, buddy. You run your mouth too much," kept the feud alive, painting Diddy as a betrayer in Trump's eyes. The bad blood runs deeper than politics. Trump and Diddy's friendship once sparkled, with Trump praising him as a good friend on a 2012 episode of The Apprentice. But Diddy's public attacks turned that bond to ash, leaving Trump, as one insider put it, petty as 50 Cent, and unwilling to stick his neck out for someone who humiliated him. The streets have their own take, with Suge Knight adding fuel to the fire, claiming Diddy was a longtime informant for the feds, feeding them info to skate on indictments while openly flaunting his misdeeds, believing he was untouchable. "He's been telling, thinking he's bigger than the law," Knight said, suggesting Diddy's confidence came from government favors that have now dried up. Knight even predicted Diddy's calm demeanor, saying, "He ain't worried 'cause he thinks Trump's gonna pardon him." But that hope has evaporated, leaving Diddy exposed to the full weight of the justice system. The legal storm intensified in July 2025, when Diddy was convicted on 2 Mann Act charges for transporting individuals across state lines for prostitution, each carrying a maximum of 10 years. Though acquitted of graver racketeering and sex trafficking charges, the judge's ruling painted a damning picture, citing Diddy's years-long pattern of violence as reason to keep him locked up. Prosecutors are now gunning for a sentence far beyond initial estimates, arguing that his crimes reflect aggravating factors like drugging victims, including ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura and another woman, Jane Doe, to coerce them into freak-off sessions marked by violent outbursts. Cassie's legal team slammed Agnifalo's attempt to frame their relationship as a great modern love story, calling it a disgrace to abuse survivors, while prosecutors highlighted Diddy's role as the orchestrator of these events, dismissing his defense that he was merely a John who watched from the sidelines. A new lawsuit has darkened the horizon further, accusing Diddy and his son Justin of a brutal 2017 assault, where a woman claims she was lured to Los Angeles with job promises, only to be held captive and repeatedly attacked over a weekend. Most chilling, one of the 6 new civil lawsuits filed in New York federal court alleges a minor was among the victims, a claim that, if it escalates to a criminal indictment, could trigger mandatory minimums and shatter Diddy's defense of consensual adult encounters. The judge, Arun Subramanian, has been unyielding, denying multiple bail requests, first at $1 million, now at $50 million, citing Diddy's history of violence and the risk he'd flee or intimidate witnesses like Cassie, who, alongside friend Deontay Nash, urged the court to keep him caged, fearing retaliation. In a last-gasp move, Diddy's legal team is now arguing to dismiss the case entirely, claiming the Mann Act doesn't apply since Diddy didn't personally profit from prostitution, but the argument rings hollow against evidence of him arranging and directing these acts for decades. The courtroom scene after the latest bail denial was stark. NBC News reported Diddy looking deflated, his hopes of freedom dashed as Agnifalo's pleas for a $1 million bond, co-signed by his mother, sister, and daughter's mother, fell on deaf ears. The judge noted Diddy's grounded private plane in Maui and his restricted travel offers, but ruled that no amount of money could outweigh the danger he poses. Legal analyst Joe Tacopina called Trump's pardon comments a nightmare for Diddy, warning they could sway jurors to convict with less hesitation, believing a pardon might soften the blow, a hope now dead. Gene Deal, a former associate, foresaw this a year ago, noting Trump's refusal to pardon someone who wasn't even with him like that no more, and the political fallout of defending a figure accused of such heinous acts. Even if a pardon were possible, the process would take years, leaving Diddy vulnerable in prison, where his street reputation makes him a target for those seeking revenge. Behind bars at Brooklyn MDC, Diddy knows the risks. Prison is a place where grudges are settled, and his name carries a heavy price. Prosecutors' latest filing, reported by the Associated Press, doubles down, opposing bail and pushing for a sentence that could lock Diddy away for life, arguing his history of violence and deception, including lying about his actions post-2018 breakup with Cassie, proves he's untrustworthy. The judge's July 2, 2025, ruling, reaffirmed in September, cited Diddy's failure to meet Rule 49's 14-day deadline for reconsideration and lack of exceptional circumstances for release, sealing his fate until sentencing. The public's reaction is split. Some see Diddy as a fallen mogul deserving a second chance, others a predator who's finally run out of moves. His legacy, once defined by chart-topping hits and cultural dominance, now hangs in the balance, overshadowed by allegations of violence, coercion, and a life built on secrets that AI and relentless foes like 50 Cent have helped expose. What's your take? Should Diddy get a shot at redemption, or has his time run out? Share your thoughts. Like this video, smash that subscribe button, and ring the bell to stay locked into every twist of this unfolding drama.